Three men and a multiverse of sci-fi's finest spacecraft. But which ones can claim to be the greatest ships ever? Welcome to Space Doc Jury.
Welcome to Space Doc Jury, episode 23. I'm Lee, and I'm bringing Rick Sanchez's spaceship from Rick and Morty.
I'm Peter, and I'm bringing the red one from Lilo and Stitch.
And I'm Andy, and I'm bringing the Dreadnought 301 from iWar, but I think I missed a memo somewhere.
Well, don't worry, we could say it's an animated ship. I mean, I don't know.
No.
Well, I don't know. It is animated, isn't it? The 301. It's animated.
Well, it's from a game, I suppose.
So,
but it's not really in the same sort of league as Rick Sanchez's Space Cruiser and
or Lilo
the
Stitch.
Red one.
From
we
Lilo and Stitch.
really should have saved the Planet Express ship for this, shouldn't we?
We should have done, but we didn't know we were going to do these ones, did we?
Oh, hang on.
What? Oh, go on. What?
Pause for just a moment.
Okay, so yes, we've had a little conflab.
Yeah, I mean, I'd done all this time. I actually found like proper. I was doing all proper stats for my ship, you know. And hell, I'm going to just post this in the old chat so these guys can see the level of detail I went into looking into it. I went into the internet's Wayback Machine to find stats on this ship.
Oh
as
my
you can
God!
see there. Yeah, but you know, it's not really in keeping with Rick Sanchez's Space Cruiser or the red one. So I thought of another ship instead, literally on the fly, because we didn't do that last week either.
No, well, no. Yeah, go on in.
I'm bringing the Nimbus from Futurama.
Hey, congratulations, sir.
You're still bringing the biggest one, but hey.
Yeah,
I might suffer a little bit for competence here.
I was going to say it's the brickiest brick that ever bricked a brick, but there you go. So it's the Nimbus. So it's the USS Nimbus, isn't it?
Well, it's just just I don't think it's USS. It's just Nimbus, but yeah.
Okay, the Nimbus. Okay, well there you go. So we got an animated spaceship special. Woo! Which means it's going to be low scoring and ridiculously high scoring at the same time.
Yes, and I'm in no way going to spend the next however long you two talk for trying to find stats on this thing.
Well, don't trust me. It's not going to take that long. That's the worst bit. It's literally not going to take that long.
Yeah.
Okay, right, fine. Well, go. Let's before we get to that, let's do the top 10. And
Who's doing it this week? Because Michael Caine did it last time.
well, Michael Caine did it last time. Pete.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it, or shall I do it?
I don't mind doing it if you like, as long as you're not expecting me to do it in a impressionish voice, because literally the only person I can do is Grand Nagazek from these.
There you go. Grand Nagazek does it.
Job's a good one. Off you go. Grand Nagazek give us Grand Nagazek the top 10, please.
I've not had enough beer for this. Hang on. let me knock a pipe back.
Come on, Grand Nagazek.
Quack!
Getting into
Number
character.
10, we have the USS Defiance, which is a lovely ship.
Oh, he's going a bit East End now. That's
Have it!
No, seriously, I can't do it. At number 9, we have the SSD Executor.
Yes,
At 62 points.
Yeah.
Which
big and pointy.
number 8, we have the Dalek Mothership at 63 points. At joint 6 and 7,
Yep.
we have the Halo Spirit of Fire. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. And the Battlestar Pegasus Star Destroyer and Battlestar Galactica are currently neck and neck at 65. The Cube of Borgness at 67. The big pointy ventral spirit thingy at 69.
60.
And floating in the sky like a giant moon, we have the Death Star at 73.
Yeah. It's a space station.
It's too big to be a space. Should we get on the reverse thrusters? Anyway.
Oh, Harrison Ford should do it next time.
Yeah. Get off my lawn.
Get off my spaceship.
Yeah.
Get off my bridge.
Yeah. I was going to do Arnold Schwarzenegger, but
I can do Arnie.
yeah. The Defiant. Get to the
The Defiant. Run.
Okay. Moving swiftly on.
From East End Grand Negasek.
Yeah, East End Grand Negasek.
I kind of want to see a Ferengi on EastEnders now.
Row, row, the barrel. Your females are wedding.
Actually, that sounds more like Skeletor. I could do Skeletor.
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 He-Man. Defiant. Don't defy me.
Oh dear God! Oh, well.
Okay.
One
fine.
way to kill a segment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, yeah. Slowly but surely, it's dying on its ass.
Die!
Right then. Well, let's have a look at the scores from last week. From last week, the Roger Young and the Spirit of Fire came second and first, respectively, and were at the very, very bottom was a ship that went. Well, it kind of crashed into something, namely its owner.
Yep.
So the War Rocket Ajax. So unfortunately, that means
So.
yeah, boom, 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 flash. Oh dear, I've blown an O-ring. Right. So yes. So it's over to you, Pete, for your red police cruiser from Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah, the red one, I believe you called it.
Oh, red. Yes.
The red one.
This shouldn't take long.
Probably not.
It's probably going to take longer than it actually appears on the screen.
There's a good chance of that. Yes. I hope that's
Go on then.
from the 2002 Disney film. Which, I mean, you may sniff and sneer, but actually it's a rather different to previous fare by the House of Mouse. It's returning to a much older art style, the sort of watercolours of Dumbo. And it's an animation style they use which wasn't the usual in-house style, so it doesn't look like your usual standard Disney fare. And it's not your standard adventure about a princess or talking animals, for that matter, although we have a few sort of aliens that look rather animal-like. It concentrates on a non-typical family gaining a new member effectively. And there's a good nod to Tex Avery madness in the animation as well. So it's rather different. I quite enjoy it. The Sprogs have, over the years, picked up most of the Disney films, so this is one of the few I'll quite happily sit through. The red one itself is the police cruiser that Stitch, the genetically modified killing machine, see I told you it wasn't standard Disney fare, steals to escape captivity. He manages to avoid a fleet of police vehicles, pulling off some cool manoeuvres, but taking some damage to his navigational systems in the process. The ship makes a hasty jump to hyperspace, knocking out the immense mothership it escaped from in the process. And ultimately, of course, because it's one of my ships, it crash lands on the planet Earth. Yes. Despite clearly exploding in a ball of green fire and impact, they somehow bring the ship back in the inevitable Disney straight-to-video sequel. And there's a spin-off TV series as well, but the ship changes design in each, presumably as a result of being put back together again. So I'm going to ignore those and just concentrate on the film. As with all the ships in this film, the design's influenced by the look of marine animals, so it's got like a shark-like profile, which is rather cool. And it was designed by a chap called Chris Sanders, who also voiced Stitch. And yes, it is very much a blink and miss it jobby, because it's right near the side. In fact, I think it's pre-credits, if I remember rightly. So you don't even have to watch the entire film to see the best bit, which is the spaceships. Always true of any film. In terms of its size, it's a very, very small one-pilot fighter. I couldn't get exact stats, but it doesn't matter. It's getting one.
One. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go. So go on in. What about?
It's not much bigger than Stitch, to be honest. And he's a tiny, wee koala-looking thing. So yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a fighter, isn't it? more than
Yes,
anything.
basically. And it's a fast little fighter, that's capable of evading incoming fire from multiple ships. So I'm going to peg it at an optimistic 4.
What, for sublight?
Yeah.
That's very optimistic because you're basing that on what?
on those few seconds of animation, yes.
You mean when you thought it was quite manoeuvrable,
Mm.
is what you're basing its sublight speed on?
It zips across the screen, man.
Yeah, you can have 1.
Oh, okay then. You're so kind.
Okay, FTL. Well, it definitely has it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a big lever which he pulls out. It's really impressive.
Over the computer's own advice, it would seem as well.
Indeed, because the navigational computers are fried. Yeah, but obviously we don't know what sort of hyperdrive it is, because the next thing you know, he's crashed on the Earth, and we're picking up.
We know it's hazardous to anything nearby.
Indeed, yes, you don't want to be too close to it when it jumps.
No.
But yes, I think that's probably a 1 for unknown FTL, isn't it?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, maneuverability. Here we go.
Yeah. Well, this is rather better, isn't it?
Yeah.
It does that whole 180-degree flip thing and comes hurtling back at the ships that were following it.
Yes.
So I'm going to peg that at a 5.
I think that's safe to say. I don't think anyone's going to argue with that.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! That's your biggest score.
Yes! It's probably going to remain my biggest score as well. Firepower-wise, it's armed with a plasma cannon, capable of spitting out green death at a rate of knots. But that's all we see in terms of firepower. So we pegged fighters at 2, didn't we? So I think that's probably what it needs to be.
Yep, that sounds about right. So that's 2. Oh, you're into double figures.
Way!
Yeah, go, man, go. Right.
Got the wind behind me now. All right. Defense-wise, it gets inactive. It gets 1 for maneuverability greater than 3.
Yes.
Ooh,
Nice.
I do like that little workaround.
Yep, that's a good one. Yep.
And then in terms of passive, well, it gets damaged in its dogfight, so it's hardly invulnerable. So and it's only a fighter, so I suspect that's a 1 for low armor.
Yeah, I think so, because it takes 1 hit and then it's like the hyperdrive's going bananas.
Yeah, there's smoke everywhere. It's shuddering all over the place.
Yeah, exactly. Okie dokie.
Special. Do I get a point for the flashing blue light and stuff?
I think you can have 1 point in that its own FTL is hazardous to any ships nearby. But that's probably it.
Yeah, that's fair enough. But is that because the hyperdrive is damaged?
No, because I don't think they realised it was damaged. They're just like...
Jumps too close to it, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, right. So they have to have like a gap for a jump.
Yes. Mind the gap.
Okay, fair enough. So 1 for special. There you go.
Crew, that's nice and easy. It's
1.
a I'll say one-man fighter, 1 alien fighter.
Okay.
Now this is where we get into interesting territory here, of course, with the skill, because we never see who the natural pilot is going to be. Literally, it's just Stitch who's nicked it. So do we rate Stitch? Presumably.
Well, we have no other frame of reference, so we have to go with Stitch. It's like it's the calm maneuver. We have to go with the majority rule of who's actually been piloting it for the longest out on screen.
So okay, right.
Okay.
So yes,
competence for Stitch.
He's a psychotic killing machine at the beginning of the film.
Yep.
Not necessarily blessed by the greatest intelligence and skills when it comes to piloting, hence making the hyperspace jump with a damaged navigational computer. And ultimately, he does crash the ship into Earth, although he isn't too bothered about that because he just hops out and carries on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a crazed animal, basically. So I'm not sure he's going to score particularly highly here, really.
No.
I'm sensing the word. Or I'm sensing a number, even.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking a 1.
I'm thinking 1 too.
Well, 2. Thank you.
No, a 1 also.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Now this is going to be the one that's going to cause us all sorts of grief for the rest of the episode. The realization.
Realization. Oh, good. Yes. Well, it's simplistic art style. I would argue it looks good for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly, there's comparing this to a beautifully designed model, either practical or CG, isn't fair, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I like the look of the design, but it's not a very well realized effect. Yeah, 2. Can I push it to a 2? Because it's not ugly, and
it's well animated. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It is Disney. They've got a bit of money behind it.
It is actually a cel-shaded CG ship.
Yeah.
So it is consistent. So it's not like hand-drawn where it kind of changes size and dimension based on the shot.
And it's not like, was it the Auriga from Alien?
Where every angle it looks different.
Yeah.
Because it is a different fucking ship. That's why.
I mean, the front of it looks like a bloody Jaguar E-Type.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say, what were you after? 2?
Well, 2 would, yeah.
I think 2's fair.
Yeah. Seems fair enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, have a 2.
2.
Thank you. And we get to see all of the interior.
Yeah.
It's just a fighter.
That's remarkably...
I do like the funky lever to pull out and twist for the hyperdrive. That's slightly...
But you have to... So let me just stop you there for 1 second with that lever.
Yeah.
Now, Stitch, tiny little alien, he's effectively standing on that seat, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is tiny, doesn't really fit there. And yet, that lever protrudes so far rearwards that if you were like one of the other aliens sitting in that thing, that's going to pierce your bloody ribcage.
It depends which alien. A lot of the aliens are tiny, actually, interestingly. It's only
but look at the seat on that thing. It's like it's built for something not quite as big as the shark thing, but, not much smaller. And that thing comes out so far, it would pierce the guy's bloody ribcage. I mean, that's a way to discourage you from pushing that lever in. It's like...
I tell you what, it reminds me a bit of in my old Mini, which was, as in the original Mini design, had back in the day... Before what would you the thing that put more oil in the engine? These days cars do it automatically, but choke. You had to pull the choke out. You remember chokes?
Yes, I remember. I used to have one on my Mini.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And did yours have to be held out with a piece of cork as well?
Well, it didn't. What I used to do was I used to actually, believe it or not, I used to sort of jam one of my keys. In between,
because otherwise they went right back in again and were bloody useless.
Yeah, and then the whole car
fantastic bit of British design. That
the car would just go.
Yeah.
So
I guess the better question is, what would you two gentlemen rate the interior of a Mini?
Well,
if you're talking about my Mini, I'd give it fuck all.
Well,
really?
that's...
But if you're talking,
loved my Mini.
No, my Mini, the floor fell out. And I actually didn't know. I didn't realise until I lifted the carpet up one day to clean it, and noticed that there was actually a 2-foot hole where my foot would be. And it was only the carpet that stopped me from going through into
Did you not feel a bit drafty?
No, because the thing was, the carpet was actually like I had one of those big.
It was a structural carpet.
Yeah, I had a big carpet mat, and it literally went. It was too big.
Oh,
for
that
the
rubber thing.
Yeah. And so the problem was, it was so big, and me being a complete buffoon, I just never bothered to cut it down, so it just sat literally right in there. And in the meantime, in the year that I had it, the floor plate had rusted through. The threadbare carpet had kind of obviously suffered some kind of I've gone over a speed bump too quick and ripped. And then by the time it sort of eroded over the course of a year, when I lifted that mat up to sort of clean it out, it's like, hang on, there's a fucking hole where my feet should be. It's like Fred Flintstone.
It might help with the fuel economy.
Well, yeah.
I never forget that the night I came home from the pub, one beer or so too many, and I woke up in my Mini. Rather than get in the house, I got in the car and fell asleep. It's like, what the hell am I doing in here?
Nice.
Anyway, that doesn't help us with the highest I was going to ask for here was 2.
I think 2, because I mean it's well drawn and it's.
You can see all the controls, the blinky lights.
Yeah,
you can definitely see where the bridge is.
Yes.
I'm happy giving you 2. Yeah.
Okay, science.
What do I put down for science? Well, it obeys gravity, so that gives it a point.
Mm-hmm.
Wait. It obeys gravity. It gets a point.
Yeah. In other words, it crashes when the engine is held on.
That's basically the way of him basically getting a score out of crashing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the manoeuvres it pulls in deep space would
squish anybody. Yes.
Yeah, would turn him into a complete turn Lilo into a puddle.
And when that plasma cannon comes out, it looks rather bigger than the ship itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Again, we got Tex Avery at the helm here somewhat, so or at least Tex Avery inspired. So, yeah, I think 1 for science.
I think that's about right. Sorry, pardon my yawning. I'm just... Oh, it's not you. It's just... I'm just tired. Right, okay, so cool factor.
I'm giving it 4. I love this little ship. It's cool.
Andy?
I'll give you 1.
I'm going to give you fuck all. Because it's horrible. It's just a nerves blob that's been nicely textured. I do not like this thing at all. At all. It just... No. I've never held with ships that have to look like 1950s stock cars or whatever the fuck it was. It was... No. Not for me. So I give it nothing because I don't find it cool at all. It looks like a toy. It is a toy.
It was a toy. You could buy it.
There you go. So there you go. Which gives the red one police cruiser from Lilo and Stitch 25 points.
Hooray!
Yeah, I won't gloat too much because frankly I don't think I'm going to score much higher. But you know, we'll see how it goes.
I will give you bonus points if you do your bit of me entirely in the style of Rick.
Rick, no, I don't know.
Yeah, don't do the burping.
No, I think I already.
Sorry, that's integral to performance, I'm afraid.
Yeah. Marty, no, I don't think I could do the whole thing like that. I think I will either bust my throat or I'll throw up. So
why not the bow?
Why not do both? Okay then. Right. Well, let's get on to Rick's spaceship. Rick Sanchez is a scientist from dimension C-132, Rick 137. And he is a scientist, genius, inventor, age 60, who lives with his family, his father-in-law, Jerry Smith, who he hates, Beth Smith, his daughter, who only married Jerry because she got pregnant with Summer Smith, his granddaughter, and his protege and best friend in the whole wide world, Morty Smith. And
I got to say, I think friend is a bit strong of a term.
Well, basically, the problem is that Rick is essentially he hates human race. He's got a very strange outlook on morality, and
I believe narcissist is the
he's a narcissist. He's also misanthrope.
Yes.
I'm talking more about Rick because you have to understand him before you understand the ship.
It's a very zen way to go about it.
Yeah, that's because there's not a lot about the ship. Basically, Rick is a super genius. In fact, it has been mentioned on a number of sites that do these kind of battle-y things that he's got an intellect very close to the Doctor's. Unfortunately, he doesn't share the Doctor's moral values. Sadly, he's wanted for the following crimes: assault, bioterrorism, breaking and entering, cable piracy, child abuse, as in how he treats Morty, driving under the influence, felony, murder, genocide, human cloning, illegal arms dealing, impersonation of a police officer, kidnapping and forced imprisonment, murder, slavery, smuggling, terrorism, time-bending, torture and cruelty to animals, vandalism and arson, and rebellion and treason of a galactic federation. But nevertheless... Oh, and yeah, I did do genocide, fine. And driving under the influence. So, he is a genius inventor who literally, I think, in any other TV show, he would have been the Doctor, or he would have been a member of the culture. He just understands multiple dimensions. He understands, well, pretty much everything. He there isn't a thing he doesn't understand and cannot solve, from time warps to dimensional rifts to the fact that he might even date a hive mind.
There was no might about it. He did.
Well,
twice.
He did twice. In fact, he dated a hive mind, which actually meant he shagged half a planet's worth of redheads. well, make of that what you will. He also invents things such as the Demon Box, which contains Mr. Meeseeks, and
hello, I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me.
Yeah, a creature. Yeah. He also had a rock band called the Flesh Curtains.
My life.
Yeah, exactly. So he invented at the age of 60, he came back from a multi-dimensional tour across the universe and the multiverse and time and space, and moved in with the family at the age of 60. There, he stays in the garage of the Smiths, and basically he built a spaceship out of parts. This spaceship is capable of multi-dimensional travel, faster than light travel. It contains a super intelligent, hyper-dimensional AI, which doesn't actually exist within the ship. It actually exists in a completely different realm of hyperspace, an idea nicked from the culture, which basically gives it like cloud computing, but using the universe as a cloud. It has a battery, which is run off an entire universe in a box. And
we might actually get our first negative science points on this one.
Yeah, do you reckon? And the cloud computing thing is actually quite a good idea, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's quantum
computing. Can you just repeat the sentence you said after that, though?
Oh, it has an entire universe in a battery in a box.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Anyway, however, it also has weaponry that will adjust and adapt depending on what needs to be done. And in fact, in one episode, which is called "The Ricks Must Be Crazy," the ship not only kills people with a laser beam that looks very familiar to anyone who's ever watched the film Resident Evil, but it also manages to follow the Asimov rules of doing only what the owner tells it to, and eventually ends up sort of crippling people. And when it's told it mustn't actually hurt anyone, it has to work out a way of basically keeping the occupants safe without actually physically harming them. In which case, it then decides, the computer in the ship itself decides to look at the psychological profile of everyone attacking it, and then does psychological terrorism on them. Using as example, it sees a soldier whose son was lost in a car accident. And then basically creates an organic goo that turns into the kid and says, "Daddy, please don't attack this ship," and then melts in front of him.
Again, science.
Yeah, again, science. But eventually, when it finally decides that even that's not applicable according to the person inside the ship, what it actually does is it works out, it actually brokers world peace for the entire planet that it's sitting on. So that's pretty cool.
I will just say, everyone should check out Rick and Morty. It's actually very, very funny.
It is extremely funny.
So especially that episode. It's like, don't take our word for it. Go and watch it. It's very, very funny.
So shall we rate this bugger?
We can try.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's going to try. So the first things first, the easy one is size. It's about the size of a garage. So 1. Now,
it's sort of mini size.
Well, it can hold more people than the Mini comfortably. Let's put it that way.
But the Mini couldn't hold anybody comfortably, so
no, not even its driver.
No,
or its engine. It had to have the engine sideways. The speed sublight. Well, when it's not doing FTL, it is seen repeatedly in a number of different episodes, flying at a speed which will get people to and from another solar system or spatial body in a matter of hours, which to me says light speed. So that's a 5.
But isn't that just its FTL?
Nope, it's not its FTL, because its FTL also encompasses the dimensional jump.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the dimensional jump. I thought the dimensional jump was his hand doohickey.
No, the ship can do it as well. In fact, the ship does it, which is why they end up in a totally different dimension with the spider people and brokering world peace.
Fair point.
So, sublight, I'm asking for a 5.
I take a slight issue with the dimensional thing now being the FTL thing, but that's probably the highest score you're going to get. So yeah.
Well, that was just a sublight. I haven't done the FTL yet.
My point being, I think its sublight is not up to that. I think it does its FTL jump to do the getting to the other solar systems in hours.
Well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't switch to a totally different engine. It just flies, and it just flies. It gets faster and faster.
You don't know that. And secondly, the engines are garbage cans. So
yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say, where it came to FTL, if you turn to the scores on our spreadsheet, we do have a wibbly wobbly timey wimey 6.
We do. We do.
And we do have a wibbly wobbly timey wimey ship in Rick Sanchez's spaceship.
Does he time travel in the thing?
He travels to a completely different dimension, which looks like it's gone back in time, which is where he has the whole purge thing.
Yeah, but again, that's not time travel. That's just a different dimension at a different rate of evolution, what have you. And again, do you know that's another dimension, not just another planet in the in the galaxy?
He mentions it's a completely different dimension where they.
No, he mentions he's been to other dimensions. I don't think he mentions that's another dimension.
The point with the wibbly wobbly timey wimey score was the idea with that was you could arrive before you left.
Yeah.
So can he do that?
No.
The question.
Well, no, he could basically, but no, he can instantaneously leap from one point to another through that dimensional rift, which is how he gets to the planet of the spiders, how he gets to the planet with the purge, and how basically he gets around.
So that sounds like 5 for unlimited instantaneous jumps.
Pretty much.
I'm fine with that.
Okay, 5.
But yeah, I'm still on the old sublight thing. I mean, I'd be thinking more of a 1, to be honest, because I don't think that you see him. Again, I'm racking my brains to try and think, but we don't see him. Every time we see it flying around, it's not doing like super duper speeds and all that.
But it's not taking any time. He literally, in the case
of... but that's because he's going FTL, surely.
But that was the whole point of our thing, isn't it? That that we have different drives and different types, and if we go,
we have different drives and different types. But his
then where just out of interest, just not wishing to get too confrontational, but then where does the dimensional jump come?
Well, we don't have a rating for dimensional jumps.
Well, we have instantaneous jumps to any point.
Yeah, and that's 5. I'm fine with that. I'm talking about the sublight side of it.
But it will. If you see it in.
You know what? What? Fine. I'm fine. I'm not starting this on Rick Sanchez's fucking shit.
I mean,
it's not worth
no.
It's not worth
Market 5. We're walking on.
Keep on moving. Okay, maneuverability. In the opening sequence, we see it flying away from a Cthulhu-style beastie through a number of different very tight maneuvers and very tight corners. I wouldn't say it's anything like the Lilo and Stitch ship. I wouldn't ask for a 5, but I would ask for a 4.
I think you're more a 3, to be perfectly honest.
Okay. I mean, it's kind of fighter-ish, basically, the way in that opening title sequence.
Yeah, but again, that's the title sequence, which really is... In the entirety of the rest of the show, you never see it do anything like that.
I'm just racking my brains to think about it, but I'll go for 3, fair enough. Okay, firepower.
Creative.
Is
that defense? I'm not sure what does that.
Yeah, to keep summer safe protocol, I think comes more under defense.
Yeah, exactly. But that's going to be an odd one to kind of do then, isn't it? Active defense of like every single weapon that's seen to be used in that episode. It's going to be odd. Okay, well, let's have a look at the scoring for firepower, because the thing is, we do see he does use lasers on the ground for a number of episodes, especially the last episode, I think it is, when they're all attacked and the wedding party all goes to toss.
It's got some level of lasers, yeah.
So let's have a look at the weapon thingy. I mean, I would have put it somewhere around. I mean, looking at our old scale, which I know is up for debate, but I would have put it in terms of just general firepower. I would have put it around about Slave 1, because it can shoot ships and it can shoot other ships and it can drop weapons that just materialize out of nowhere. So that's a 5.
I'm just looking at what else we've given 5s to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm up for debate on this one. I'm not hard and fast on this at all. I mean, 5,
I think it's more than Lilo and Stitch's Cruiser.
yes, by a long chalk.
But-
Enterprise refit we gave.
Yeah, I'm not putting it in the same league as the Enterprise.
No.
The JJ prize.
Or the
No.
JJ Prize.
Okay, 4 then.
I'd say
All the
3,
Fearless?
to be honest.
Okay, 3. Fair enough. Active defense. Well, here we go. I mean,
Okay, just have 5. Just have 5.
yeah, I was going to say, and really, I don't think there's anything else in that. Passive defense. It's literally made out of bins, so I don't really think you can do a lot more than 1.
Yeah.
So special. Now,
Yes, it is.
here we go. I mean, does that AI count? I guess it does,
I'd have thought that.
because the AI pulling the psychological
it
bollocks.
informs the defense it uses, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think 1 for that, maybe.
Yeah,
You can have 1 on that.
and Rick Sanchez himself.
No, that's crucial.
Firstly, that's true, and secondly, that could be more of a hindrance than a help at times.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair.
So
fair point.
let's keep it with a 1 there.
Okay, that's fair enough. Crew, needed to fly it is only 1, but it can actually hold up to 3 people.
That's still 1.
Either way, it's still 1. Competence. Okay, here we go. This is a weird one because when he's not drunk, as has been stated on a number of different Space Battle Reddit threads and
You've got to
forum
stop
things.
going near fucking space battles, mate.
Dude, if I get desperate, I get desperate. That's all I'm saying. Rick Sanchez is given an equivalent of the Doctor because of his intellect and because of his ability to think on his feet and basically manufacture anything from anything, as seen in that Purge episode where he basically creates a multi-dimensional rescue package and manages to get 2 Iron Man suits beamed from Earth, which is in a completely different dimension and light years away.
Was this before or after the Amish girl managed to steal the ship from him?
Yeah, well, that's no, but that's what I'm saying. That's the problem. He can basically build a interdimensional transmitter and rescue package of 2 Iron Man suits remotely using a bin, a coat hanger, and 3 batteries and a torch. Yet he will also have yet also he will get drunk and then basically lose the ship. So he's either up in like the 5s or he's down in the -1s.
You know what? Let's just split the difference.
Yeah.
Go with 3.
That sounds sensible to me.
Fair enough.
On a good day, he's great. On a bad day,
He's not.
I was about
He's
to
me.
ask you. Yeah, I can't honestly think of any situation where he's flown his ship while sober.
Yeah, that's true.
you'd have to be drunk to get in that thing. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Oh no, he does fly it on that. That's on the episode with Squanchy, and he does fly it with the whole thing. Well, he shows competence in piloting when it comes to his own internal universe thing. And a couple of episodes, well, you see it in the title sequence where he's flying away from that Cthulhu thing. But anyway, yeah, it doesn't matter. 3 sounds like a good split the difference because it could be 5 or it could be 1. I mean, it's really it just depends.
Don't push it. We'll give you 2.5.
No,
break the
it's fine.
scale.
No, it's fine. Exterior, I'm not going to ask for much really at all. I mean, I think it's another CGI cell shaded ship. It's got more detail on it than the Lilo and Stitch ship, but I don't think I can push for more than 2.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm happy to give you 2.
And ditto for the interior. 2. Because you got the seats. The seats have a level of detail in them. Like
If you say it's because the seats recline, I will leap through this microphone.
I wasn't going to say that, but what I was going to say was the way that it's consistent. So like there's like the seat that Morty's usually in has like duct tape across it, and the stuffing's falling out, and it doesn't change from one episode to the other. But
It's true, but as we established recently, and I can't remember which one it was, but it's not just how well is it in that sense. It's also like, is it a nice environment? Is it a good environment as well? That's got to factor into it as well to an extent.
well,
I mean, 2. I'm happy with 2. Yeah, I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's to be considered in these calculations. It's not just how technically proficient were the animators. It's also how nice of a space is it.
Yeah,
or make sense of a space.
Well, it's like it basically looks like something Zoidberg would have had, like two rough seats in a dumper truck. Really, isn't it? It's not really.
I think you're giving Zoidberg far too much credit.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Okay, so science. Let's just forget it. I mean, just zero.
No, my friend, no. As I said, I think we're getting our first negative science score tonight.
Right, go on. I mean,
well, as you said, it's powered by
a universe,
a mini universe. But just for benefit of Pete, what are they doing in that mini universe to power it?
They're on treadmills.
Yeah. So he's convinced an entire universe by appearing as their god, convincing them they all have to run on treadmills to provide power. But then what goes wrong is someone in that universe gets on the idea of if they get another smaller universe, they won't have to run on the treadmills to generate power, and so on and so on and so forth.
I want whatever the person who wrote this is smoking.
It's good shit, man.
Yeah. Dan Harmon is on vodka and Adderall.
Yeah, much like Rick Sanchez, I think.
Actually, yeah. Well, I mean, to be quite honest, yeah, I know what you're saying with that particular episode, but what I would say is that I know I'm going to get a minus figure. Don't worry, I'm just saying this for the record.
You okay?
But the fact of the matter is, there are everything that he does in those episodes, all those episodes, have a measure of scientific out there. They're just kind of taking an idea and throwing it to the nth degree. So when time becomes unstuck and he basically changes all the realities and the realities split, that's basically that is actually based around someone taking the Heisenberg uncertainty principle and quantum string theory and going, well, if we put these two together, even though they don't go together, but if we put these two together, what happens? Well, you end up with an uncertain timeline of, where everyone is just slightly out of sync, but they all exist within the same space, and that's proper out there super duper whiz bang science. I love that.
No, absolutely, and you won't find an argument with me. One of the things I love on Rick and Morty is a lot of it is grounded in some level of scientific principle. But again,
we're
not critiquing the show, we're critiquing the ship.
Yeah, well, the ship is.
I'm not going to kick you all the way to the curb.
Well,
you can either have. I'll let Pete decide on this and what we've said to him. It's either -1 or 0.
Help. Well, we need to set.
Also, we should also point out that the engines are garbage bins.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what would justify a negative science rating, because I mean clearly there is 0 science involved in this, which kind of points towards 0 for me. But what's is negative being insulting towards science? So I'm not sure.
I mean maybe being a negative is a bit harsh there, because let's face it, I don't suppose the pocket universe powered by treadmills is any more absurd than
a black hole powering a blooming Romulan warbird, maybe. We did with that negative, so maybe 0 is as low as we want to go with this.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll go with 0.
Or a spaceship with a particle in its heart which can send time back only 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's a fair point, actually. Yeah.
Which got a science of 3, I may hasten to add.
It's the Reliant all over again, isn't it?
Just bringing it to the table, just placing it there, and just stepping back.
I argued for the 0, mate. I wasn't going to go with the negative.
Thank you very much. I'll take the 0. Anyway, cool factor. I'm not expecting this to do very well at all, so I'm going to give it 4.
Keep your end up.
Just to keep my end up. But purely because it's supposed to be hilariously bad. It's supposed to be the Doc Brown, Marty McFly for a nihilistic generation. So it isn't exactly going to score highly on cool, but I'm going to give it 4 because I like the concept of this basically, what would Doctor Who do if he was a misanthropic alcoholic nut job? And let's be honest, the Doctor... I was
going to say, all you have to do is look at Earth 1966, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest. It's not like the Doctor didn't actually make a TARDIS, which was nothing more than a platform and a cylinder and the physical embodiment of his own ship. So, it's the same deal. I just think Rick and Morty is Doctor Who for people who don't like Doctor Who. So I'm there. That's me. 4 points for that. So, Andy.
Again, I've got to rate the ship, not the show.
Yeah,
if I
that's
was rating
fine.
the show, I'd give you 3. No questions asked. And also for Rick, because Rick's awesome. I'm going to give you 2 because it does kind of just slightly bug me a little bit. I like the idea of a ship being made out of junk. I just think, in the same way as, Doc Brown made the time machine out of a DeLorean, he could have made it look a little bit cooler, perhaps,
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Doc Brown could have made it out of a bloody Oldsmobile, but he made it out of a DeLorean. And I just think Rick could have... He's got a flair for that sort of thing. He should have just pushed the boat out just a little bit. So I'll give it 2.
You know the problem with you, Andy. You know the problem with you. You're married to aesthetics.
I don't think I like where you're going with this.
You're married to aesthetics. Break the cycle. Anyway,
that was almost good enough to get an extra point off of me, but I'm sticking to my guns.
fair
I'm sticking with 2.
yeah, that's it.
Okay. I've watched an episode and a bit, I think, of this now.
Yes.
And it makes no sense to me at all. And that's a spaceship. Okay.
That's getting a 0. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't worry. I was way ahead of you. I'm already moving on to the Nimbus. Don't worry. That's fine. Okay. So Rick's junk spaceship, which someone on Reddit named should be called the Rickenium Rick Falcon. But there you go.
No, it should be Rickenium Burp Rick Falcon.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The Rick Squanchy. Anyway, so there you go. It gets 38 points, which isn't bad.
That's a lot better than I thought it was going to get.
A lot better than Buttermoon, which is about where I was rating it.
Yeah. Don't misunderstand. Don't forget the multi.
Hey, you know what it's called exactly the same as?
Go on.
The Planet Express ship.
There you go.
Strangely apt.
Yeah, which is good because this leads us to the Nimbus from Futurama. So, Andy, it's over to you.
So, yes, last minute edition here. So, haven't really done all the kind of research and stuff I probably should have done. But you know what? We've never let that stop us here at the Planet Space Doc Jury in the past. So, let's just get into this and see what happens, eh?
Yes.
Like, this could be a plan of Zap Brannigan himself.
Yes.
So, the Nimbus, registry BP1729, is the intergalactic flagship of the DOOP, or the Democratic Order of Planets, which docks at the South Street Spaceport. In command of this impressive vessel is the equally impressive 25-star General Zap Brannigan. The massive ship has enough firepower to blow up a large space station and is capable of entering a planet's atmosphere to deploy troops directly to the surface. In a surprise attack. Surprise! The Nimbus is equipped with the Hollow Shed, where the crew can relax and rest in between suicide missions, although it has been known on occasions to suffer slight technical difficulties involving the holograms turning into real people, somewhat homicidal, it must be said. Mm-hmm. Strangely enough, there seems to always be a Professor Moriarty in these ones, you can say. Mm-hmm. Its most powerful weapon is the UUM, or Universe-to-Universe missile, which is capable of destroying an entire universe, such as Yevo's universe. The intergalactic flagship looks like a cross between the mouth of a shark and a can of ham, has numerous decks. It was severely damaged by the Decapodians when Earth and Decapod 8 were at war, but was later repaired and rescued a Planet Express ship from an energy being by arresting them. In 3007, the Nimbus was struck and fell towards the Earth, where it was again repaired, and it played an important role in the battle for Earth. In 3008, the Nimbus was defending the Earth from Yevo, but it was later sliced in half in Leo Wong's miniature golf course. Mm-hmm. It was then repaired again at the XM radio repair shop, just in time to arrest the feministas, who had conveniently come out of a nearby wormhole. The ship was later destroyed again after crashing into New York with a Planet Express ship in 3009, but it was then repaired and used again in battle against the Neanderthals in 3012. So yes, as has been mentioned, this really could have been one of Pete's ships, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell, I mean, this is over the top even for me.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much all I've got on as far as the blurb goes.
Can I just add one or two extras?
Oh, please do.
Okay.
Yeah.
It also has a specialist stowaway hatch for unauthorized personnel.
Yes. Well, I mean, there were other things I was going to get to later on, but yes, we've got that. We've also got the Lovenesium.
Yeah, I was going to say the Lovenesium.
A cafeteria, a sick bay, and a Horta-burn clinic. You know, so there's thinking ahead for that one. A lint trap.
Yeah, which is the grill at the front.
Yes, and a trap door for surprise troop deployments. Mm-hmm. A little bit of trivia. It's obviously a parody of the USS Enterprise from the original series. I know, I was shocked too. The white hull colour and rotating nacelles at the rear. The appearance of a
Next, you'll be telling me that Zap Brannigan is supposed to be Captain Kirk or something.
That would be just absolutely silly. Of course, it's not meant to be Captain Kirk. No, what are you thinking about? No, it's supposed to be William Shatner.
Yeah.
Captain Kirk.
and also there's a doctor who was in a deleted scene, who's called Veins.
Yes. The design of a ship is a perfect example of how the show's populax style and shares some design traits from early 20th century cars. Notably, the front end is borrowed from a 1930 Cord, and the grille is a first generation Chevrolet Corvette.
And Lint Trap.
Yes. So let us, God only knows how this is going to go, but let us endeavour to try and rate this.
Okay.
Now, strangely enough, size, typically, usually an easy one, not so much here.
Yeah.
Because, the size is not only inconsistent throughout the show, but also throughout individual episodes.
Yeah, the exterior is going to do well.
Well, yes.
What did the... Because, I mean, I think I can work this backwards, actually, because what size do we have for the Planet Express?
Planet Express ship. We gave the Planet Express ship a score of 1 for size.
Yep.
And I do have a picture here, which I shall post to the group. I'll try and post to the group if it'll let me. There you go.
Okay.
Post that there. And you can see itty bitty little Planet Express ship right in front of the Lint Grill.
Yeah.
Although, again, you have to assume it's somewhat in front of a Nimbus, not right up next to it. So.
Yeah, I was going to say the Nimbus... Ooh, God, how are we going to do this? I mean, see, normally I can work this stuff back by pixel size, but yeah, you're right. It's literally got distance between it. I mean, we've obviously got. It's definitely bigger than a 2.
I'll tell you what. I propose this.
Yeah.
Since it's obviously inspired largely by the look of the Enterprise.
Yeah.
The refit or the D. Let's peg it somewhere in that sort of a region.
Hold on. I tell you what. What's the D then? Because I'm just doing something which may be foolhardy.
Well, we at Space Doctor, we laugh at the face of foolhardy.
Okay, right.
And then usually try and rate it.
Right. I'll tell you what. While we're here, look, I'm measuring the width of the. Okay. How many Planet Expresses is it across? 1, 2.
Right,
3,
Enterprise D
4.
for...
I couldn't find it because someone's renamed it again to be Enterprise Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn, yes. Disgraceful.
We gave it a 6.
We've got a 6, yeah.
10. Right, hold on. I'm halfway across, and it's 10. It's 10 Planet Express ships across to the middle, so it's 20 across, assuming that it's right on the grill. Which we can't, but that's as best as I can do. So it's 20 across, so 20 times the size of the Planet Express ship. So
that's 100 meters was the Planet Express ship, but that was length, not the width, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we've got to say that it's a width of at least 2 kilometers. Oh, 100 meters. Yeah, that would be right. So 20 of them, that would be 2 kilometers.
To be fair, actually, that probably makes sense in that it's obviously also aping things like the Star Destroyers.
Yeah.
Because we actually see at one point the Planet Express ship itself fits inside one of the spikes, doesn't it?
Yes.
The first time you encounter it, it's sucked into the spike there.
Yeah.
Kind of like Anti-4.
So, 2 to 4 kilometers is 11.
I don't think it's that big.
What, you don't think it's 2 to 4 kilometers in size? I mean,
We can't.
Well, I'm just looking at the windows, but again, we've got the whole.
I've literally just cut and paste the Planet Express in that shot and just counted the amount that it goes side to side across that grill, from edge to edge, and it's 20.
Well, I'm not going to argue. I'll take the 11 if you want to give me it.
I don't know. What do you think, Pete? Because
we could go for 1 to 2 kilometers, which is 10.
Okay. Well, I think that's fair enough. If we do that, and then we can
Let's go with 10. Yeah.
Fine. Cool. 10 it is.
Okay. Yeah. Speed.
Slow.
Well, you say that. It keeps up with the Planet Express ship.
Until but that's because they don't engage the hyperdrive because they get caught in a tractor.
But that's FTL. We're talking sublight speeds.
Okay.
So, what did we give the Planet Express for sublight? We gave it.
I think we gave it a 5, but hold on. Planet Express. Well, yeah, we gave it 5.
Well, the Nimbus not only keeps up. I mean, it was in danger of overtaking it until, as you said, they jumped into the Comedy Central network wormhole thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
okay, so 5 it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so speed FTL.
Well, I don't think I can peg it at the same 4 as we see the Planet Express, because obviously the Planet Express ship has special engines,
and we have to do the equivalent Enterprise kind of thing. So I think that's a 3, isn't it?
You know what? I know I'm costing myself points here, but I think in the spirit of our rules, we probably have to peg it as 1.
Because we don't
never see anything on its FTL, except knowing it has it.
Yes.
So we'll go with 1.
Fair enough, that's 1.
And manoeuvrability, as is tradition. Yeah, that's the brickiest brick.
Yeah. As sure as Pete will crash into a mountain, you will get a 1 on manoeuvrability, my son.
It is almost...
It's nice to know there's some things in this world you can depend upon. I mean, all the worrying shit that's out there, and you can depend on us to come up with some of the shittiest ships out
there. Of course, now we come to firepower, where
you have a
I think we all learned something interesting about it. So let me just read through the armaments, starting at the bottom. We have tactical lasers mounted on the crest on the forehead to make delicate cuts. The settings include stun, kill, and hyperdef, registered trademark. This was used during the opening ceremony of the Dupe headquarters to cut the ribbon, but Zap accidentally, note the finger quotes there, set to hyperdef and blew up the space station in a single shot. We have spike lasers, which are on the end of the spikes, hence the name, are enough to cripple the Planet Express ship. We have numerous point defense lasers. We have homing missiles. And then we have the universe-to-universe missile. The ship's most powerful missile, the universe-to-universe missile, or UUM, is capable of destroying an entire universe.
Do we actually... That's a 15, isn't it?
That's
I love the hang on. Oh
shit. we can't go any higher, but I mean 15 was destroying stars. This is
15
universe.
15 was destroying solar systems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just got to stick with 15. I mean, we can't give it like 20 for fuck's sake, because then we're into all sorts of problems.
Yeah, we've got to rein it in somewhere, or when you do finally manage to talk me into letting you bring a culture ship, it's just fucking off the scale.
Yeah,
so,
I was going to say, we either just accept that we just go to 15 and anything beyond that is a pointless exercise.
Anything beyond that is just silly.
Yeah. Oh, I've destroyed an entire reality. See, if Rick was a person on his own, he would have got off 15.
Yes, but he's not.
No, I know.
So,
no.
lucky us.
Yeah.
So, yes. 15. There you go. I mean, to be fair, it was going to score pretty highly just on the tactical laser. And
that could one-shot a space station.
Space station, yeah. But, So then we've got defense. Now, active defense, it has a number of point defense lasers, which we see firing.
So that's 1.
That is 1.
That's it.
that's pretty much it, I'm guessing. I mean, we do have. I'm just wondering if anything else counts. It does have hangars for support craft, but I don't think we ever actually see them.
No.
Oh no, we do see them when what's it called attacks the
Doesn't that come
Omicron
under
Persei 8 aliens.
Don't that come under special anyway?
Yeah.
Well, I thought things like
Support craft all come under special.
I thought things like Vipers and dedicated fighter craft. I thought came under active defense.
No, I think we've always stuck them under special because we did it with Red Dwarf. That's why it got higher in the special.
Yeah, but that was because
someone convinced us that fucking Starbug had
but
weapons.
Starbug isn't it's not a fighter. I think with Galactica and Pegasus, we gave it one for the one of the active defenses they get is because of the Vipers. But whatever, I'll take it as a special.
Well,
we'll just have to...
it doesn't matter. Put a point in one place, put it in another.
I'll take the point on the active then, yeah, because I think fighters and stuff like that go under active.
Okay, well, if it ends up in special, it's still the same point, isn't it?
Anyway, so for passive defense, it's both incredibly strong and incredibly not. It's Schrodinger's hull, if you will, largely depending on what is required of it at the time.
Well, it did get cut in half.
It gets cut in half and blown up repeatedly to no permanent sense of damage. To be fair, what did cut it in half though was the Decapodian crab monster thing.
Yeah, with a big claw.
Yes, it's massive claw. Again, it survived assaults from the Omicron Persei 8 aliens. It survived an assault from Yevo. It's survived Zap Brannigan.
Yeah, your competence. You're going down with the competence,
I
my
believe
friend.
the term is powder dry, gentlemen. I'm going to ask for, I think, what's heavy armor?
2.
I think 2. We don't ever see it with any sort of shields or anything like that.
No. It uses
I don't even think they ever mention shields, do they?
But even if they do, it's usually its mass is kind of the whole thing of like it's being, you won't attack it because look at the size of it, kind of thing.
Exactly. And of course, the 25-star general on board. So
25-star general, Jesus.
So yeah, I'll ask for 2.
Sir. Go on, carry on.
Okay, and on special, well, we've already established the fighter craft.
Yep.
The lint trap. Does that get me anything?
Not unless you're being attacked by a bunch of lint.
Well, you're telling me that's not plausible in the Futurama galaxy?
I'm not saying it's not plausible. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying they wouldn't have put it there if it didn't have a purpose. I also think the trapdoor, because for surprise attacks, I think that's worth one for special.
I think the answer is still what was that word? Pete, was it? No.
No, you're getting confused again. You're confusing no with actually yes, that's a genius idea. I think the Lovenasium counts for a point. That's going to put anyone off.
We're not counting Zap Brannigan's love missiles. No.
All right, fine. It's a hard audience, but whatever. We'll take the one.
Yep, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
Size.
I like the forward thinking of things like the stowaway hatch, where they acknowledge, unauthorized person are going to get on board.
Yep.
So they acknowledge it.
So just to clarify, we've given it 1 for
special.
Yes,
for fighters.
Fighters, but okay, and 1 for active for the
point defense.
Point defense. Okay, super. So all in all, we've got 4 for defense.
Yes.
All in all, we have 4 for defense, which. Actually, when you consider its track record, that probably sounds quite plausible.
It's doing quite generous.
Yeah.
Crew!
Okay, well, I'm going to read off of a wiki here for what it has listed down for crew. The crew consists of 25-star General Zap Brannigan, Kif Croker, Dr. Vanes McGee, Francine, Leela's mother, and, again I'm quoting, countless expendable crew members.
So not particularly needed for the ship then.
Well, all I'm saying is they're all counted as expendable. And remember, with Zap Brannigan, every mission is a suicide mission.
Yeah. Waves and waves.
Waves and waves. Until their bodies clog up the enemy's guns.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how we're going to do this, but I mean, I'm thinking with Star Destroyer levels of crew, because if you're going to clog up the enemy's guns with the bodies of your crew, You've got to have a fair few of them.
But then you
clearly don't need them
for the
since
ship.
They're so disposable.
Yes, but then we're back to the whole argument of what does the ship need with a counsellor? You know, they're on the ship. They're not there. Well, yeah, they are there being as cannon fodder, but that is their job on the ship, and they give their lives, if not gladly, if not reluctantly, but
then doesn't that count as like a military force on board the ship? Isn't that?
Well,
like...
no, again, they're
wearing...
wearing...
Actually, put it this way: if Zach Brannigan sends these hordes of troops out on their suicide mission, he's still got to get home somehow. So clearly, he doesn't need them to pilot the ship.
Correct.
Well, I'm pretty sure at this point to pilot the ship, all he requires is Kif.
Well, there you go.
So there you go. Then that's a 1.
You do that, and then on our pub episode, we're going through every single Federation ship and marking the crew requirements down to 1. So, you know, bear that in mind there, Your Holiness.
Well, actually, 7. You do need 7.
You need 7?
Yes. You need the captain to tell them where to go. Otherwise, they'll just sit there. You need the helmsman. You need weapons. You need an engine. You need a chief engineer. You need navigation, and you need science officer. Otherwise, your analysis doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean the Enterprise D needs numerous people just because of its scientific missions it's going
and the
on.
size
Whereas,
of it.
Whereas the Nimbus isn't exactly well renowned for its scientific capabilities.
Oh, just because it's not renowned for them doesn't mean they're not there.
I think you're fine.
and let's face it, the Enterprise's track record when it comes to scientific discovery, it's not so great.
It's better than the bloody Nimbus.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a given. I mean, if nothing else, the Nimbus has got to survive having 25-star General Zach Brannigan on board.
Speaking
Look,
which, skill?
No, we're not at school yet. We're still arguing over the crew numbers. Thank you very much.
No, we're not. It's
Yes,
1.
we are. We're not moving on, and we're going to fucking. I'm typing into Google as we speak. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to fucking find out how many people are on this thing. Because there's a lot of fucking crew on that thing, so I'm going to find out.
Right.
Sure, there are, but they're clearly very expendable.
Yeah.
Oh yes, but still, I mean, I'm pretty sure the crew of all Enterprises are pretty expendable. Otherwise, the whole gig about red shirts means nothing.
Doesn't count for
Every other episode of bloody Star Trek, Kirk's beaming down with an other red shirt.
Right, well, in which case, I'm going to go and look up all the scientific accuracies of Rick and Morty.
Okay, well, we'll put in a little interlude here while we do that. Go grab yourself another drink. We'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm bored. I'll just take the 2. But
Hey!
4 ground attack troops because it's got a fucking army on board. So
Okay, fair enough. Does
So-
that come under special?
Yeah, so an extra point for special
Yeah.
and 2 for size of crew.
Huzzah.
Okay, competence. This should be easier.
Yeah, it should be easy. I'm just wondering, what do we give for Planet Express ship in the end anyway?
Oh, I wouldn't go... Well, yeah, actually.
Yeah, Planet Express got 1.
I'll take 1 happily.
I think we've been...
My logic here being is, yes, Zach Brannigan, the single most incompetent person in all of space-time, and yet the crew, by and large, managed to survive.
Well, I think Kif makes up.
Kif alone makes it up
for
for
him. Yeah.
I'll take the 1 on that.
Yeah, he pushes it up to a 1. Right, okay. Exterior. So...
It has 1.
Sorry?
It has 1.
That's a 1 then.
If fucking Rick Sanchez is getting 2, mate.
Yeah, you get a 2. I'll give you
I'll
a 2.
give it 2.
Because it changes size, as you say, from shot to shot.
And I'm just going to take a 2 for the interior as well. Although before people start going, we don't see a lot of it, I would counter with the following image, which I will just ping, where you can see quite a lot of it.
If this is looking up Zach Brannigan's backside, oh yeah, you can definitely see a lot of it there where it's been cut in half. It's been cut in half.
Superb cross section. How did they do that? Oh.
Oh yeah, yeah. For what it's worth,
the thing is, it's kind of consistent as well.
Yeah. For what it's worth, I'm actually willing to give you an extra point for that. I'll give you
Fine, I'll take it. I'll take the 3 for that then, yeah.
3 for interior. Science.
Oh,
Universe-destroying missile.
Yeah. I'll take the 1.
1?
With the 1. Yeah.
Hang about.
Destroy a universe with a missile. Come on.
Hang on. I vaguely recall someone saying anything to do with like a universe in a box is a 0.
Yeah.
No, the universe in the box I was fine with.
Universe destroyed
But
missile.
generating the power on treadmills to then transfer that power to it. If you tell me a microcosm universe, that is legitimately a scientific principle of theory, and some people postulate that's what we are.
Okay,
I'm
quick.
fine with that.
quick-
It was the treadmills to power the car.
Okay, can I ask you one question then? For a
Ask
universe,
any.
for a universe destroying missile, how does it do it?
I don't know. We never saw it actually be fired. It just has it.
So it might not actually work.
And yet it is listed as its single most powerful weapon.
Yeah, I
Just give the Planet Express for science anyway.
I think we went out with the fairies. I think that was a 1.
Hang on. Science, we got a 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to ask for a 1 for this, then I'm going to ask for a 2 for the red one, because it's got far better science than that has.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that it at least obeys vaguely the laws of physics, rather than being able to be destroyed multiple times and return in no time flat.
That's. But then again, you do have a small 6-armed furry teddy bear not getting turned into goo as it pulls a 75G high maneuver in deep space.
Not to mention the handle, which is going to spear him. Not to mention the gun, which I believe is bigger than the shit which pops out from a bottom of it.
Yeah.
Not to mention it crashed.
Well, of course
wait,
it did. It's one of my
that's
ships.
Repeatedly.
Yes.
Look. The thing is, the only reason I said on Rick and Morty's one, and it was like I said, it wasn't the universal battery. That is not it at all. It was that it had everyone in that universe on treadmills feeding the power then up to it. That was it.
I don't know what your problem is. Look, okay, so you fire a universe-destroying missile, yeah? What does it hit?
Well, it hits Evo, but to be fair, Evo's universe, I believe, was largely just Evo.
Yeah, I see. I'm
Look,
very.
this is why bringing these sort of ships is always going to end in a fucking argument.
It's not
Because
ending an argument.
while
I'm
sci-fi ships are out of the fairies at the best of times, with things like Futurama and Rick and Morty, they're not only out of the fairies, they're snorting fairy dust.
yeah.
Hence 0. Let's move on.
No, no, and no.
Lee, what are we giving this, Lee? What are we giving it, Lee? Lee?
Why do I feel like I'm the kid sitting between mummy and daddy who are arguing?
No. Let's face it, in this situation, you're the dad with 2 kids fighting in the back chair about to threaten to turn this spaceship around and take us back home.
Yeah, exactly. I tell you what, we are not stopping for ice cream, you two, if you carry on like this.
Go to the In-N-Out burger.
I mean, to be quite honest, I've got to say, a universe-destroying missile is pretty fucked up in terms of just science. Full stop. I mean, that is totally fucked up. I mean, not only that, it has to presumably shoot across dimensions.
Well, okay then, fine, but I'll take the 0, but I'm putting a pin in that, and I will be bringing out that pin when the cultures do finally show up.
Fine, that's fine.
Point.
No, it's fine. I'll take that. I'll take that because when it's got 15 across the board on there, pretty much everything else, I'll take that hit.
Lucky cares.
I was going to say, I'm pretty willing to sit that 5 out if you want to take it away from my 200. I'm going to fucking score. Anyway, no, that's cool. No, fine.
Speaking of which, cool.
Cool. I've got to give it a 2. I
don't get to go first, too?
Oh, sorry, dude.
What's going on here? We have a format. There's a way these things are done.
Shit. It's the wheels have come off.
Oh, mate, the wheels went off when we started this bloody thing.
There were no wheels.
Yeah.
Spaceships.
Andy,
I'm
I'm going to give it a 3. I'm not going to give it the full 4. I'm going to give it a 3. And the reason I'm going to give it a 3 is just it's something about its look just kind of it's grown on me over the course of a series. And as much as I fucking would never want to encounter him in real life, I have a soft spot for Captain Zap Brannigan, 25-star general, greatest hero of the Dupe, and his ever-suffering subordinate Kif Croker.
Really, sir?
But yeah, I'll take the 3.
Yeah, I'll like I say, I'll give it a 2. So it's not my favourite ship in Futurama, but it's certainly a lot better than anything else that we've had today. And I'm only giving Rick and Morty 1 a 4 because I knew it wasn't going to get anything from any of you guys.
I gave it.
I know.
I'm going to give it 2 as well because it makes me laugh.
So that's a 7. That's the coolest ship out of the lot, which kind of makes sense.
Yep.
Really?
Right, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah. So, in total, the Nimbus rolls in with 52.
Yay.
Or possibly 53 if science gets 1 point. But either
Yeah,
way.
it's definitely 52.
So 52.
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and mark that grey for
If we
for future discussion.
if we're going to go through all of the science things, then I
gonna
think
get very
I
messy.
think it'll get very messy if we start mentioning science.
Also, I'm going to put a note on the crew size because I am going to go and watch that episode later on, and I am going to count every motherfucker on that ship.
They have to be individuals.
I will do so.
Well, the evening's not going to get any better because
Yeah, that was the uncontroversial bit.
So there you go, 52 for the Nimbus. Well done, Andy. And now it's time for us to bring out what ships we're doing next week. Or next.
Well, I can save you an argument there because I'm just going to bring the Dreadnought because I did a fucking lot of research for that thing.
Okay, right, fine. You bring the Dreadnought. So Andy's bringing the Dreadnought from which he was supposed to bring this week. Now, on top of that, I put up on the Space Doc Jury Facebook group that I was bored and people could suggest ships that we could try and do. Since we were all thinking, well, what ships can we do? I thought, well, it'd be good if we just randomly pick from this list. Now, I've got a list of 32 ships here from that thread. And Pete.
Yes.
Oh, I should pick.
Well,
Oh
yeah,
You've seen the list.
No, he hasn't
I've
seen
not
the
seen the
list.
list.
Oh, he's not seen
So,
the list. That's okay.
Okay, I'll tell you what, Pete, you pick for me. Andy, you pick for Pete. How about that?
Seems reasonable.
Okay, so between 1 and 32, Andy, what ship is Peter gonna have?
We need the sound of a Wheel of Fortune spinning right now,
Yeah.
don't we?
Yeah. Double!
Yeah. Go on in.
So between 1 and 32,
Yes.
13.
13 is the Saratoga from Space Above and Beyond.
That could have been worse.
That could
Yeah, I
have
was
been
going
a
to
lot
say
worse.
that's actually sort of the right one.
There you go.
Toga, toga, toga.
Okay. So, Pete's got the Saratoga from Space Above and Beyond. And now, Pete,
Yes.
a number between 1 and 32, but is not 13. What have I got?
Number 2.
Thunder Road from Explorers.
Okay. Never heard of that.
It's another.
Yeah, I was going to say there's now a brief pause while we all go.
Google it.
It's a ship that the kids built out of trash
What kids?
from the film Explorers. Joe Dante's Explorers.
No, still none the wiser.
No, basically it looks like it.
I've just found it.
I can't wait. Oh my life! We're back to dustbins, mate. You've got some continuity.
Yeah,
there.
you go.
we're seeing a theme appearing.
Well, there you go. See, you guys have got your slow unmaneuverable brick, the ship that always crashes into something. In fact, does the Saratoga crash? I think that's breaking the list, isn't it?
No, the Saratoga doesn't crash. I don't believe.
Oh, I can't
Oh, well, there
And
you go.
the Dreadnought's pretty damn manoeuvrable.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So yeah,
Well,
but on the plus side,
mm,
it's red.
what is my one?
Yes.
Yeah, I know it's red.
It's a thing of well,
Hmm.
not beauty, obviously.
Well, there you go. So,
It's
ladies,
a thing of thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, just out of interest, Andy, I know you're bringing a Dreadnought.
Yeah.
But actually, Pete, pick a number between 1 and 32 and see what Andy would have got.
Here's what you could have
Why don't
won.
you see what you could have won?
Yeah.
Yep.
Except you can't have 13 and you can't have 2.
He would have had 27.
27 would have been the Vulcan cruisers from Enterprise.
No, I'm happy. I'm sticking with my sticking with my dreadnought.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Well, still pretty big, boy, but yes.
Yeah, the big red pointy nose of pointiness.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, okay, I'm going to have to put that somewhere else in the list now. All right, okay.
Yeah, swap the numbers around for
Swap
next
that
time.
number around, yep. So, okay, fair enough. So, there you go. From 2 suggestions from the Facebook group, the Saratoga from Space Above and Beyond, and Thunder Road from the Joe Dante 1980s film Explorers. We will be doing those next week, and Andy will be returning once again to the Dreadnought CV. Is it C330?
CNV, Commonwealth Navy vessel.
That's it. 301, 302.
Yes.
Yeah. And so, there you go. So, until next time, do join us on the Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/SpaceDocJury. Join Pete on the Twitter, which is @SpaceDocJury. And Pete, where else can we find you, sir, on the interwebs?
Well, I was going to say, you can generally find me wandering the streets of Welling looking confused. But other than that, on the internet, you can find me at Ballcast at geekplanetonline.com and also on iTunes talking about the joys of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Season 4.
Oh, well, never mind. Citronella candles ahoy.
Not very many, actually. We're just about to do Little Green Men, which is one of my favouriteest episodes ever.
Nice.
I was going to say, you don't really get to the candles until seasons 5 and 6 when they realise Wolf's there.
Yeah, that's true. And what about you, Andy? Where else can we find you?
Mostly it's on here, but occasionally I meet up with Elton and we talk about Formula One and cars going round and round really quickly at the Grand Prix podcast, which is at vogue2media.com, I think. Yes, let's say that.
Let's say that. That'll do. Right, brilliant. Okay, then. Right, well, that's it then. Till next time, take care. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Tatty, bye.
Cheerio, bye.
Ta-ra.
Amateur hour's over. Let me show you why they call me the Velour Fog. Hit it. I met her in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes just like Coca-Cola. C-O-L-A, Cola.
Give us a break.
He sickens me. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance. I asked her her name, and in a dark brown voice she said, Lila! L-E-E-L-A, Lila! Lila! Bum-bum-bum-bum-bum-bum! Lila!
Space Doc Jury is a production of 3 Angry Beards for GeekPlanetOnline.com.